So the lighting's not the best, and the camera quality's kind of bad, but we'll stick with it. Today we're going to talk about what kinds of methods you should use when researching a new topic. I'm going to start this by saying that you should never start research with a specific goal in mind, because you don't want to cloud your process of researching and make you focus on specific issues which aren't relevant to the relevant to the topic or might potentially not be the best arguments that there are. So to start researching, you should instead put keywords from the topic into Google. Just look up the common arguments on the topic and what researchers tend to focus on, so you get kind of a holistic view of the topic before you start going in depth and picking out specific arguments. So for example, if the topic was something about how the US should pass a living wage, look up the word living wage to start getting just basic arguments about people who talk about living wage. So after you get that list of arguments or ideas from your preliminary research, then start focusing on specific issues for affirmatives, negatives, pros, cons, whatever format you do. Decide what you want to write for cases, then look up cards related to what you need. You maybe make like a list of all the arguments and pick out a few that you think are most important for your case and then research those. When you're researching, make sure to use terms that are normally in the literature. What I mean by that is if you make your search too specific or too general, then it will be hard to find cards. You should also use certain search abilities that go along with search engines. For example, if you're looking for scholars, it's a good idea to use apostrophe PDF in Google to find PDFs versus blogs or news articles. If you're looking for news articles that relate to current events, use Google's ability to refine your search to recency and look for more recent articles. Also, make sure to use quotation marks around specific words if you want them to be in the articles. For example, if I'm looking at the effects of sexism in politics, I will look up quotations around sexism, big and then quotations around politics. This ensures that the words I want definitely appear in the article. It even works for phrases. If you type gun violence, you'll be able to find articles with that phrase. In terms of reading the article itself, unless this is an article you're reading for critical or philosophical arguments or short news articles, it's generally a bad idea to read the whole article. It's a complete waste of time when you could be doing other things like reading other articles. The best way to read articles is to first start with the intro and conclusion so you know if the content is even related to what you're looking for. Then check the table of contents and look for chunks of the article that sound useful to what you need. Also, skim important parts to once again check if you want to actually cut that part of the article. This will help you minimize time spent researching topics that aren't useful to your case. A good way to find articles while you already have found a few is to check the sources cited by the author who's written the article you like. If you like an article a lot, then they have endnotes, chances are you might find another good article in those endnotes. Finally, make sure your sources are good sources, in the sense that make sure it's from a renowned journal or your author has good credentials. Don't be reading from some random blog post and cite that as evidence, because judges aren't going to find that as credible, and your opponents can just be like, I have a better author, you prefer mine instead. So it's just better to just get good authors from the get-go. Alright, that's all the tips I have for this video. If you have any questions, once again, just type them in the comments. But other than that, I hope you have a good day.